Yo, what's up, YouTube? Stalkerties here. Um, so today I'm just gonna talk about for you guys and for myself if I want to rewatch this video in a few months. But I'm just gonna talk about some of the mistakes that I made this week trading and why it was kind of my worst week. But still not a bad week, plus 3%. But I mean, this easily should have been double digits if I would have executed my game plan the way I normally do. But yeah, so I'm just gonna let's just get into some of my positions I'm in now, why I'm in them, some of the stuff I'm looking for, and yeah. So this play right here, Lucid Motors, is like the biggest risk I've ever taken since I've been in the stock market by far. I would not recommend placing 10 buys and then a ton of shares of it, but it's just been something I've been looking for a while. I did actually get into this play at like $15, but then I sold it when it went up to like not 20. I think it was like just under 20, and then I just bought it back before market closed. And then I also have been looking up, a ton of reasons why I think it's gonna go pretty big. So I got some calls, which I would not recommend. If anything here, what you should do if you're looking to be more conservative is you'd want to get you'd want to do 8 calls and 2 puts on this. So if it did not, the merger didn't go through and it just tanked all the way down to $10, you would still, not lose too much money. But I'm just feeling kind of risky, and I guess I need the market to humble me because I've been right too many times. So I think once I'm wrong big once, I'll start to go more conservative. But yeah, I'm just going to go through all my positions. Neo, this is my largest holding by far, and I don't plan to touch this one for at least 3 to 5 years. So I got 250 shares, exactly $50 average cost. I was actually just this week, or actually, no, it was just yesterday, when it went down to $56.29. I had 200 shares, and I calculated I needed that price exactly to get it exactly $50 average cost. So I put 250 shares for $50, which is $12,500. And mark my words, guys, in 3 to 5 years, this is going to be $125,000 worth of stocks right here. Neo's going to hit 500 in 3 to 5 years. Stockers is telling you right now. All right. MP. This is another EV play. It's like, from what I've heard, it's the only U.S. like rare earth mining company that's licensed to do a few key rare earth metals that you need for EV batteries and a few other parts. So I have a normal position in this. 125 shares, $32 average cost. I think that's going to do good, especially next week when Biden gets inaugurated. I think a few of these stocks I'm in will have some nice jumps. Golden Nugget Online Gaming. This is another one that I'm in that I got in on the dip, which is the reason I'm still in it. I'm going to be looking out pretty close. If this one touches back down at my the price I got in at, I'm probably just going to take out a break even. I might just set a stop loss next week. I don't have too big of a position in it, but all right. We got Fuel Cell. This was one I actually got in under $12, 200 shares, but then yesterday, the second big day, it's had a big dip. I added 50 more shares, so I brought my average cost up a little bit, which I'm happy with. It's looking like, if anything, lowest it's going to go is about the upper 13s. That's what I would predict. It might touch that briefly, hit support, and then just bounce up. The hydrogen fuel stocks are all tanking because like JP Morgan or whatever gave them an overweight tag or whatever bullshit just so they could get some extra shares. We got clean energy fuels. Another pretty small position in this one, but 250 for under $10. I don't see why this shouldn't double at least in the next few months. Especially next week, I'd assume this will be $11 plus by the end of the week with Biden getting inaugurated. This company is like the only, or they're the best like natural gas company, which is gasoline, but still good for the environment. Basically, it's a really brief overview of what they do. Star Peak Energy, this is another good energy play. I would like clean energy play. This is one that I think next week too is gonna pop. I mean, if you really wanted to, this is a play where I think right when market opens Monday, if you want to get a call that expires Friday, this is something I might do. Might just get like 5 calls for this one right here because I think most of these energy stocks are gonna pop like 10% Thursday for sure. I don't know about the rest of the week though. So yeah, I got another decent position in that. Then up last, I got Mara, the Bitcoin mining stock. I got this one because it was pretty beat down at one point because Bitcoin went down like 10%. Plus they did a share offering, so it was way down from what it usually is. So then I thought I just got in at a steal, and then it popped right back up, and now it's kind of back down to what I got it at. But I'm not too worried. I think we got a shooting star right there, so hopefully it'll go back up. But if it goes down to 20 though, I don't know. I'll just have to see. But yeah, I was lucky enough too yesterday when all these stocks went down. I had like $2,000 extra buying power. As you can see, we like to rock with less than $1. But I was able to, normally my positions are all 200 and 100 shares. 200 shares being like the $10 to $20 companies, and then 100 shares being the 30 to 50s. But since they all dipped so much, I had some extra buying power. I just turned them all into 125 and then 250 share positions, just to get some more positions while they were all on a huge dip. And then they actually ended up going up a little bit from when I added to them, so that's nice. Then on my watch list, I actually have been in bio-nanogenomics since $1.50, and I've just been day trading it like insanely. Here, I'm gonna show you. Yeah, so $1.70. All right, so I first bought it at $1.70, and then I had $12.50, and then I day traded all the way up to 1,500 shares, and I've just been doing that like crazy. And then Thursday, when it was at the upper sevens, I think like 770, I sold it. Yeah, right in here, I sold it, all of them, thinking that it was gonna retrace, but it went back up. But I would think sometime next week it'll get, at least into the sevens, probably the sixes. So I'm going to have to sell something, but that's a position that I kind of want to be in. So I'm going to have to figure that out. If you guys don't know what they do, they're like a genome mapping company that's turning out to be like 50% more efficient, cheap than all the other ones. It's rumored that ARK Invest might be interested in it, but I can't tell you if that's true or not, but it's definitely a good long-term play if you can get in for the right price. I would say preferably if you could get in the sixes, you could your risk would be lower. Then Apex Technology, this is one I've been in before, and I'm trying to definitely get in again as soon as I could get some extra money. This is one that soon as their merger date gets announced definitively, I think by late February, this is one that's easily going to be at $30 in my opinion, but no way to really know for sure. But I'm trying to get in that one as soon as I can. Nano, this one is, it's pretty crazy how much it's ground, but the reason I haven't gotten in this one yet is because for some reason, every time their stock starts doing good, they do another offering. And I don't know how much money they need, but I guess the gamble you take with this company is, are the owners, like, since they do so many share dilutions and get so much money, I just haven't, I guess, looked into them enough yet, but are they using it for the company to grow the company, or are they just being a little greedy? I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that more, but just recently I found out that they can print like parts for rockets and stuff like that for SpaceX and stuff. Plus, ARK Invest is buying them up pretty good, so those two things are going to let me definitely get into that sometime here soon, hopefully. Then I got ARK Genomic, ARK Innovation, ARK Next Generation Internet. All three of these are, if you guys don't know what these are some of the top performing ETFs from last year. All three of these pretty much tripled from what they were a year ago to what they are now. So, I mean, if you guys don't know what to ever put your money in and you want something somewhat secure that's, it's got a lot of potential, I would definitely recommend these. But I'm still in that phase right now where I'm risking stupid plays like this right here. But eventually I'll get over that. I'll get smart, but still have to be humbled. Then switchback. This one, I'm sure you guys know this one, the EV charging, or charging station company. I can't talk right now, but yeah, this one is, I think, a solid long-term play. But the merger for this company, I think, is like, I want to say mid-February. And with most of these new companies, SPACs or whatever, whenever they merge, I've noticed, like kind of with Golden Nugget, this was LCA right here. And it was in the upper 20s at least, right? Yeah, it was in the upper 20s. And then right here is when they merge. And then it just tanks. And I buy right here. And then hope that it bounces up for the long term. But this is another one right here, SB, that I really like for the long term. But I do think after they merge, who knows? It could get to the low 30s, which is what I would probably be willing to scoop up a good amount of shares at. But, and then you got Ethereum, Bitcoin, these are probably the only two cryptos I would ever consider. But I was actually watching this so closely whenever, like a week ago or whenever it was hitting the low 30. I was looking at it when it was at like 30,100 right here. And I don't know. I just didn't buy it. I'm not too mad at it though, but it's just something to keep your eye on, I guess. Yeah, so like I said, for next week, depending on your risk, this is one option play for sure. CCIV, if they can, Churchill Capital, if they merge with Lucid Motors, oh my god, this got some crazy potential. But this is a play that next week is either going to be at $10, which is like their baseline for most packs. If they don't merge successfully, it'll go down to $10. If they do merge, it'll be probably 35 plus easily. So that's what I'm obviously praying for, that they can merge. And I've seen a lot of signs that point to it's more likely they will. That'll be pretty good for the account. And that'll probably net me like about 20 grand from these. So that's what I'm going to put some more in. I'm going to get Apex, Nano, BNGO. I'm not banking on it, but I'm just hoping. That would be nice. Plus, I got some shares. And I do kind of believe in this company long term, too. So if they do successfully merge, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sell these calls. And then I might sell like 70 shares, keep 250 for the long term. And then I'm just going to use all those profits to put it into some of my, the stuff I'm watching. Who knows, maybe even some Bitcoin, Ethereum. Might get crazy with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's definitely my worst week in the stock market so far for sure. No question about it. But, it's a bad week and it's still a green week. So, yeah, just real quick before we go, I'll just let you know some of the mistakes I made. So with Neo, I still haven't made a video on it yet, but this is where I've pretty much taken, Neo's been pretty much about half my profit from calls that I've made on this account. Like I've loved doing calls on this. I can read it pretty good. But earlier this week when I sold my previous calls at about $65, I just knew for a fact for some reason that it was going to end the week under $60 because I knew people were going to be selling off, taking profits like crazy after Neo Day. And anytime pretty much a stock goes up 20+% in a short amount of time after a big catalyst, it's going to retrace. So when it was $65, I placed 10 shorts on it, 10 puts. And then for whatever reason, I just decided to sell it like right here, break even. And then it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Went to the mid 50s. And if I hold on to it, I think my break even was about $62 and I had 10 puts. So I would have made out $6,000 easy. So I'm still definitely kicking myself for that. But for whatever reason, I just was not feeling it anymore. And then, the second mistake I made too this week was, I know most of you guys, I'm sure, know the Carol Baskin stock, but I got into this bad boy at, I believe, like 75 cents. And then another one, man, I was just watching it when it was up here. It was in the $1.30, $1.40 range. I was just watching it. I knew I had 3,000 shares, so I knew it was smart to take some profits on it. But I just waited for whatever reason. Probably fell back asleep, woke up. It was in the, I sold all of them about $1.01, I think. So that's another $1,000 right there that I cost myself. So $6,000 from Neo, $1,000 from that. Then, BNGO, I'm still not mad that I sold this at upper sevens. I think it's still going to come back down. Still a little soon on that, but, man, it's some of the mistakes you make as a beginner could have easily been over 50K this week, but, it's whatever. Still a green week where most people were definitely red this week from what I've seen. This was probably my worst day too, honestly, Friday. It's over 1% down. That doesn't happen too often, but, it's whatever. You just learn from it, but, yeah, it's just some of the stuff you got to learn from, man. So hopefully you guys can learn something from this. I'm sure in a few months or a few weeks, I'll look back at this and just remember some of the mistakes I made. Just remember, if you know something's going to happen and you put your money where your mouth is, don't look too much into the every minute what happens with the price. Just stay strong with it. It's probably going to happen. And then now don't do stupid stuff like this, risking it. But yeah, so that's it pretty much. Just my week in review. Some of the good plays, some of the bad plays. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.